is at the top 5 places to visit in southern Volta. There's no denying the fact that Volta region is the tourism capital of Ghana. And talking about tourism in the Volta region from one single video will be impossible to do. There's a town in Volta region that has 18 tourist sites. 18 tourist sites from one single village. So imagine talking about tourist sites in the Volta region in one single video. That would be like 20 hours long. So let's do it in bits and pieces. I'm going to give you the top 5 from southern Volta. The thing about southern Volta is that they have 3 powerful things that goes for them: sea, sun, and sand. Let me explain. Southern Volta has one of the most beautiful coastlines in the entire West Africa. And we have the evidence to prove as well. Let's take a walk and see. The sea here is not brown like other places. I'm not going to mention names. But this is the sea. This is the ocean. It's clean. It's beautiful. It's blue. Blue oceans. That's the #1 sea. And there are a lot of things we can do on the ocean when it comes to tourism. Sure, we can have some sea rides, which I'm not going for anyway. And so much more. There was a time someone wanted to invest in surfboarding and stuff, just that the coastline in the Volta region is a little rough, one of the roughest around the world. So they have sea, but not too much can go on there. Not just in the sand. The sand in southern Volta, they are like golden crystals. Like, please, I'm not saying come and mine gold. No, that's not what I'm saying. No, not the color. I'm saying kind of gold. This is sand, beautiful gold, crystal sand. I'm regretting I've even said this right now. Should I take it out? No, I'll not take it out. So that is sand. Then sun. It's a coastline. And there's no you have a coastline that will be beautiful and inviting without having a lot of sand. So a lot of beautiful sunshine and all that there. Now let's come back to the tourist side that you need to visit in southern Volta. Emancipation Beach actually embodies this whole thing completely, because over here there are a few huts dotted around, and then now they're even building a hotel, which will be quite sweet. But then the sand here is just pristine. It is clean. It is beautiful. Walking here, relaxing here, coming here with friends and family, hosting events and shows here is just top of the line. Okay. Yes, the sand cuts across from Aplau all the way to wherever you go. But here at the Emancipation Beach, it's just beautiful. Coconut trees, food, everything is just on point. That is the sand component. Number 2 on my list is a place I've read about in storybooks my entire life. This park here called Torkor Atolia, basically a place where notorious criminals and then some offenders, notorious human beings who basically are given the death sentence, are buried alive to their neck. And yeah, ravens and bears come and peck out their eyes, and it's a gory, scary stuff. In modern day Ghana, this park is where they celebrate the Hogbechocho festival. Yeah, it's weird. Like walking in the park and it feels like people were buried there before. Like some people with their neck, kind of scary. But yes, this park here, very famous. We read about it. It was in storybooks. It's still in storybooks. The footage I'm showing you now was the last time Asantehene visited the Volta region. He was there to celebrate with them. It was beautiful. It was colorful. Now look at this massive stretch. And then the coastline also over there. So number 2, if there's Hogbechocho, which is coming in a few months, you must be there. You are not just experiencing culture and performances of the southern people of Volta region, but you're also experiencing a little bit of scary history with eyeless, socketless, buried people-ish. The Keta Lagoon is famous across the entire world. If you are counting lagoons everywhere in the world, Keta Lagoon is one of the biggest and one of the most famous ones. Apart from the salt mining and other activities that goes on, this site, we just underestimate it. Truthfully, we underestimate it not just as Ghanaians, but as Voltarians as well. The Keta Lagoon is having a lot of potentials. What I would like to do more around the Keta Lagoon area is bird watching. Sure, there are migratory birds that fly all the way from Denmark and places, hang around here, and yeah, they hang around the lagoon area, and you see the mangrove and everything. Charlie, the experience on it is just going to be top of the line. It's top of the line, not going to be. I've been there and it's top of the line. I'll be getting my long lenses soon. If I get them and I get to this location, the bird pictures you guys will be seeing, Charlie, will just be mind-blowing. Keta Lagoon, number 3 on my list. Now, this fort was built for the slave trade. You see, usually when visitors come to Ghana and they want to talk about slavery and everything, they take them to Cape Coast and places. But you see, the role Volta region played, the role Keta played, the role Fort Prinzenstein played in the slave trade is just mind-boggling. Slaves that were brought across the entire West Africa were brought to this fort for safekeeping before they get transported to wherever they are going. Imagine that. The entire West Africa were brought down here. There's this town that is called Torkor, close to the fort, where they bring the goods, the human goods, to that place to go and sell. So the fort was impactful when it came to slave trade. We've heard stories from across the entire Volta region, from across Ghana, where they tell you that slaves migrated all the way to the fort. Places like northern Ghana, there are places where it says the slaves were transported through, places around Amejope, places around Piki, places around Likpe, where the slaves were kept temporarily before they migrated all the way to the fort over here, kept for transportation to wherever they went to. So this here is not just a piece of history, it's the piece of the entire world, because I can assure you a lot of slaves came out of this side. Final on my list is Cape St. Paul Lighthouse. It's very unique in the entire world for two main reasons. Reason number one, it is one of two lighthouses built from cast iron. The entire world, you have concrete and whatever lighthouses, but only two of them in the entire world are built from cast iron. Number two, this lighthouse, you have to walk around the skeleton to the top, not walking through it. So if you go to Jamestown Lighthouse, you can get in there, but you get into the fort and climb up. But this one, you are experiencing the entire environment whilst you are moving up there. If you're wondering why this thing is built basically like in the middle of nowhere doing nothing, well, you might be very wrong, because I just spoke to you about the Fort Prinzenstein, and then the amount of slave trade and then all things that happened. This is the thing. Travelers at the time, there was no GPS and there was nothing, so the ships were just using compasses and hoping and praying for the best. So they're coming to either Keta, the fort, to get the slaves, or going to Torkor to get the slaves. The ships kept sinking around this area, and they didn't understand why. They investigated and realized that there's a massive mountain in the ocean. Yeah, like in the ocean. So Afajato is there, it's a mountain though, but even in Keta, even in southern Volta, there are mountains in southern Volta, in the ocean. I mean, wrap your mind around that for a moment. So there are massive mountains in the ocean here, and when ships are coming, they actually get stuck on the mountains or get damaged, and then they sink. That is why this lighthouse was built specifically to direct ships, to tell them that, you know, the place, there's Afajato Star Mountain right there in the ocean. That's why this place was built. The reason I love this and I place it at number one, why I love this place so much, experiencing all three things that Southern Volta has to offer. You're experiencing a lot of sea, which is close to the ocean, obviously very clean again, because there's not a lot of traffic there, so no filth around. Very beautiful sea. Then sand. The sand here is also very beautiful as the one we find at Keta. Golden crystals, if you fed them in your hand, it just feels pristine and beautiful. And number three, sun. Sun is always up here, and I feel coconut trees that you can hide and all that. And if you get there and you're fortunate enough, you might see some farmers cultivating their onion farms. If you're finding value in this and want to know more about tourism in the Volta region, this is the place to be. I would ask you to subscribe. There's any tourist site that I missed, I'd like you to tell me in the comments below. And if you have been to any of the places I've already mentioned, I'd like you to tell me your experiences to educate others also about how the place feels like. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's Double V for Visit Volta. I'll see you when I see you. Sema. Finally, let me talk about this thing. Get it out of my head.